Once upon a time, in the golden heart of the African savanna, beneath skies painted in red and gold, there ruled a mighty lion. His mane shimmered like the sun at dawn, his roar could shake the trees, and his shadow stretched across the plains like a moving mountain. All the animals called him the King of the Jungle, for he was strong, proud, and feared by all. But not far from his den, in a tiny hole beneath a fallen log, there lived a very small creature indeed. A mouse. So small that the blades of grass rose taller than she did. Though she was timid and light-footed, she was quick-witted and kind of heart. Her name was Mira, and every day she scurried out to gather seeds, grains, and crumbs left by the larger beasts. One blazing afternoon, when the sun hung heavy above the savanna, the great lion stretched himself in the shade of an acacia tree. His eyes grew heavy, and soon he fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. Mira, the mouse, searching for food, crept near. She saw a few seeds scattered not far from the lion's paw. "Oh, just a few," she whispered to herself. "If I move quietly, he will never notice." But the grass rustled beneath her tiny feet. The lion's ear twitched. Suddenly, his great paw came down with a thud, trapping her beneath it. "Well, well," the lion rumbled, his golden eyes opening. "A thief in my kingdom?" The mouse trembled. "Oh, mighty king, forgive me. I meant no harm. I was only hungry." The lion tilted his great head, amused. "You are bold, little one, to wander near my claws. Give me one reason why I should not eat you." The mouse shivered, but spoke bravely. "Because, your majesty, even the smallest creature may one day help the mightiest. If you let me go, I shall repay your mercy." The lion threw back his head and roared with laughter, a sound so great it sent the birds fleeing from the trees. "You help me? That is the funniest thing I have heard in all my days." But as he laughed, his heart softened. There was something about the courage in the mouse's voice that pleased him. "Very well," he said at last. "Go, little one. You are too small to make a meal of anyway." He lifted his paw, and Mira darted away into the tall grass, her heart pounding. She turned once to call out, "Thank you, noble king. One day I shall not forget this kindness." The lion smiled faintly and closed his eyes again. Soon he was snoring once more, and the mouse vanished into her burrow. Days passed. The sun rose and fell, and life on the savanna went on as before. Then, one morning, as the dawn painted the sky pale gold, the lion wandered farther than usual in search of game. The air was still, the grass whispered, and suddenly, from the undergrowth, there came a snap. Before the lion could leap away, thick ropes sprang up around him. He roared and struggled, but the harder he fought, the tighter the ropes grew. He had walked straight into a hunter's trap. The forest trembled with his fury. Birds fled, monkeys hid, and even the wind seemed to hush. "Let me go! Who dares ensnare the king of beasts?" But no one came. The hunters had set the trap and gone to fetch their wagon, leaving their prey to tire itself out. At last, the lion lay still, panting. For the first time in his proud life, he felt fear. The ropes bit into his mane, the ground beneath him smelled of man, and the sky above seemed cold and distant. "So this is how the mighty fall," he murmured bitterly. Far away, Mira the mouse was foraging near a stream when she heard a faint echo.
That voice! It sounds like the king!
A deep, rumbling cry carried on the wind. "That voice," she whispered, freezing. "It sounds like the king." Without hesitation, she turned toward the sound, darting through grass and roots, over rocks and fallen branches, until at last she reached a clearing. There she saw him, the mighty lion, bound in nets of coarse rope, his golden mane tangled, his eyes filled with fury and despair. "Oh no," she gasped, "he who spared my life is trapped." Mira ran to his side and squeaked softly, "Do not be afraid, great king. I will help you, as I promised." The lion blinked, astonished. "You? But these ropes are thick as vines. You cannot break them." "Perhaps not all at once," said Mira, "but I can bite them, one by one." Without another word, she set to work. Her sharp little teeth gnawed at the ropes with fierce determination. Nibble, gnaw, chew, bite. The lion lay still, hardly daring to move. He watched in silence as the tiny creature who could have been crushed under his paw now fought to free him. Hours passed. Rope by rope, the net began to loosen. At last, with one final snap, the last rope gave way. The lion rose, shaking off the tattered remains of the net. His mane shone again in the sunlight, and his mighty body stretched in freedom. He turned to the mouse and bowed his great head. "Little friend," he said, his voice trembling with gratitude, "you have done what no one else could. You have saved the life of a king." The mouse smiled shyly. "I told you, Your Majesty, even the smallest creature can help the mightiest." The lion gazed down at her, humbled. "You mocked me once. I see now that strength is not always measured by size or power. You are braver than many beasts twice your size." The mouse twitched her whiskers. "And you, great king, are kinder than many who have power. You spared me when you did not have to. Today, that mercy returned to you." For a long while they stood together in the clearing, the lion golden and proud, and the mouse tiny and quick, bound now, not by rope, but by friendship. Not long after, the hunters returned to the clearing, expecting to find the lion bound and helpless. Instead, they found their trap torn apart, the ropes shredded, the ground marked by the deep prints of lions' paws. The leader of the hunters stared in disbelief. "What creature could have freed him?" he cried. No one answered. The savannah was silent once more, save for the whisper of the wind and the distant cry of a bird. High on a rock nearby, the lion watched them go, his sharp eyes glinting. He did not roar or chase them. He had learned that wisdom and mercy were far greater weapons than teeth or claws. Beside him, Mira the mouse sat upon a stone, her tiny nose twitching proudly. From that day forward, the lion and the mouse were inseparable friends. Whenever the lion hunted, he made sure never to tread near the mouse's burrow. When danger threatened the smaller creatures, his roar sent it fleeing. And in return, the mouse would sometimes bring the lion news, where water could be found in dry times, where the herds had moved, where danger crept. Together they ruled the savannah, not by fear or might alone, but by trust and kindness. And all the other animals laughed at first. A lion befriending a mouse? In time, they came to understand the truth. that friendship, once born of mercy, can bridge even the widest gulf of power and size. And so the tale of the lion and the mouse was told for generations. Parents taught their children, and elders reminded their kin. No act of kindness, however small, is ever wasted. For the strong may one day need the help of the weak, and the mighty are only truly great when they show mercy. The sun sank behind the hills, the savannah glowed with gold, and somewhere beneath the tall grass a lion's deep purr rumbled softly, joined by the faint, cheerful squeak of his smallest friend.